you can convey a lot through audio. Mm-hmm. You have tone, a voice. So like me, I always sound like I'm mad at someone.
Because she is.
Well, I mean... Hey everyone, welcome to the SOB Marketing Podcast, where we celebrate the SOB that you are, and if you haven't figured it out yet, we mean small-owned business. We don't mean SOB.
Listen, we know that as a small business owner, you are working hard on the daily to keep your business fully operational while trying to promote it. And while some days it may feel like the business is owning you, if we're being honest with each other, I bet you would admit that you wouldn't give up the insanity for anything.
Our commitment here at the SOB Marketing Podcast is to give you the real talk, what works when it comes to advertising, marketing, promoting your business, and then what doesn't really work.
And Chelsea and I promise to always keep the conversation real.
Vivian, let me ask you a question. How often are you using audio services like Spotify?
Every single day.
Every single day? Okay, well, you're not in the minority.
Oh.
That is absolutely, I actually have a statistic I want to open with. In the U.S., according to Statistica, roughly 90% of internet users stream music.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I find it so strange when I ask somebody or I talk about podcast and people are like kind of looking at you funny. I feel like the norm is now everybody understands what a podcast is.
Yeah.
The truth is there are still a lot of people that are just discovering podcasting.
Valid.
And like you said, some people aren't really streaming music through Spotify. What are some other ones?
Pandora. Pandora. Tim uses Pandora. I don't like Pandora.
Yeah,
it's
contentious. Maybe Pandora's like a man thing.
Maybe. Okay, well, it's one of our biggest fights. Okay, y'all. Whose side are you on, Pandora or Spotify? The right answer is Spotify. But, Vivian, the reason I bring this up is because today we are talking about audio marketing. And this week's episode is a little special. It's a little different because this is going to be a two-parter. I started writing.
We're doing the Indiana Jones thing.
Yeah.
Part 1, part 2.
Sure. I'm going to say something so controversial.
You don't know what Indiana Jones is?
I know what Indiana Jones is. I've never seen either.
Okay,
I almost said episodes, movies.
Well, whenever you spend the night, we're going to do Indiana Jones.
Okay.
And also, I'm going to introduce you to, what's it called? Tales from the Crypt.
Okay. I don't know what that means, but I'm sure it's
You're in
fine.
for a good time.
Okay, that's fine. I was writing the notes for this episode, and I was like, Vivian, this is just too long to be in one single episode. So today, we are specifically talking about what is audio marketing and how it can help your small business. Next week, our episode is going to be about what options you have as a small business owner that wants to get into audio marketing.
Yeah, we really hope that you're going to stick around and listen to this, this two-part series because I think what's interesting is marketing is consistently changing. We all know that. We especially know that as small business owners because we see it right in front of our face, the pressure to try new things, do new types of marketing campaigns. This can be a really powerful tool to promote your small business. And we always tell you guys, we're never going to tell you you absolutely have to do any one thing.
Yeah.
We want you to at least know about the opportunities that are out there so that you can make the best decisions for your small business.
Yes. And Vivian, controversial, my marketing hot take.
Can I buy you a little pistola to
Yes.
yes.
A little. I'll be Indiana Jones. Does he have a gun?
He has a lasso.
Okay, I don't want a lasso.
I mean, also, I wonder if Spotify's going to block us if we buy you these little
guns.
Pistolas,
probably. Yeah. Okay. Love the idea though. My marketing hot take is I feel like not enough small business owners are utilizing audio marketing, and it's the hot new thing. And I feel like we should be utilizing it. Now, I feel like part of it is that you might not know what exactly audio marketing entails, what's included, and you might not know how to go about getting started. So that's what this episode is here to answer. So we're going to answer these questions, and hopefully you can change my marketing hot take, and we can get more small business owners into audio marketing.
I wonder if also because all of our conversations right now in marketing are surrounded or are focused on video, we naturally gloss over what's embedded in video, which is audio.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so maybe that's part of it too, is that when we're thinking video, we're actually thinking of that video audio component without parceling the two out.
Yeah. Let's start this conversation by defining audio marketing. So it is the use of sound-based content, including podcasts, digital audio ads, radio, and sonic branding. We're going to talk about that. It's the use of using this sound-based content to promote products, services, or brand identity. So options for platforms include traditional radio, music streaming platforms like Spotify or Pandora, podcast sponsorships, or voice assistants like Alexa. Yep. I'm glad we don't have an Alexa. And smart speaker ads.
Smart speaker ads.
Well, that's also like Alexa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the cool part of this is most of
I'm sorry, real quick. I'm so sorry. Instead of for voice assistants being Alexa, think Siri instead.
Okay.
Because it's your phone.
Okay.
It's a voice assistant. Think instead Alexa is going to be the smart speaker ad.
All right. I'm glad you made that clarification. Mm-hmm. The really interesting part of this is I am sure that when we mention these, you guys are using this in your day to day. And so maybe it's just that you haven't come full circle in realizing, hey, there may be an opportunity there where I can promote my small business amongst these different audio-based, marketing opportunities.
Yeah, exactly. Well, let's talk about examples of audio ads then. Or examples of audio marketing, because one of them is going to be audio ads. So it's your pre-recorded short ads placed into audio content.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to give this example. I don't know if this is necessarily true or not. I have Spotify Premium.
Okay.
I believe that I have access to audiobooks because I have Spotify Premium, but it could be that if you have just a free Spotify account, you might have access? No?
No, I don't. I think you have an access to maybe a limited amount of them. Yeah. And then the premium does get access to, I feel like, way more audiobooks.
Okay, that makes sense. My point was going to be, for the free version, I bet you after a certain amount of pages, they insert an ad. Mm-hmm. That makes sense. Yeah. So that's an example of an audio ad. I say that I didn't want to use podcasts as an example because my next example is podcasts. I have it separated between audio ads because usually you can reach out to the podcast itself and they'll embed it into their conversation. They'll embed the ad into their actual episode, so it won't just appear on one specific platform. It'll appear across wherever you're listening to. Or you could like sprand. I mixed brand and sponsor in my head. Or you could sponsor an ad episode. Mm-hmm. They could do like a branded episode with your business in mind. Mm-hmm. So podcasting gives you a little more, what's the word I'm looking for? A little more freedom, maybe? Yeah. A little more options.
And it's dependent also on the way each podcast operates on their own too. Mm-hmm. So, for example, I know Chelsea had mentioned this. If, for example, we at one point we were like, hey, we're getting enough views on the platform we're using, we could turn on advertising, right? Mm-hmm. Monetization on it. And we did for like a couple days and then we turned it off because you guys, they were running so many ads and we didn't, like, you don't have complete control over what ads get inserted in there. But And we didn't want to change your listening, what do you call it?
Experience.
Yeah. But that is one way. So either I, as a small business, can go to a platform like a Podbean or someone that houses these podcasts, and then I can run the ads through there. They then disperse it amongst certain ads that meet the industry category you're looking to fit into. Or, like Chelsea said, reaching out to the podcast individually, because they may actually not do an option like that, and they may keep all of that process internal. So it does take a little bit of research, but I do like how you kind of queued it up, because really what you guys should be doing is, if you want to get involved in any of these examples of audio marketing, it is going to require a little research, but we also want you guys to be hyper targeted.
Yes.
Utilize the platforms and the shows, the places where your target audience is going to be, the people that are likely to buy your product and service.
Another example of audio marketing, we have sonic branding. Okay, that sounds so intense, Vivian. Everyone knows what this is. This is when you have a unique, consistent sound representing your brand.
Yes.
It's like a jingle.
Yeah, a jingle, or also I think the jingle is the one that we probably can most relate to, because we all understand that.
Yes, but also let's think of Netflix's dun.
Yes. Okay.
And that's sonic. Yeah.
That's the part where I think in your marketing hot take, that's what I was trying to kind of bring up. The fact that I think we don't give enough credence to how important, how, I don't want to say how you can train people, but how over time people can recognize you just from a couple of notes. You play that sound anywhere, people can tell exactly what you're talking about.
Yes.
Or who it belongs to. So it is a form of intellectual property.
Yes. Yeah. And it's a example of audio marketing.
Yes. Okay. So what did you call it again?
Sonic branding.
All right. So you guys get you some sonic branding. This is really, interesting when I was reading about the sonic branding, because it's a fairly newer term in marketing. We did not have information about sonic branding back in like 15 years ago. Okay. We were not talking about this stuff. I think what's also created a popularity for it, or a need for it, is because everyone is getting into the video game. All of these TikTokers, there are some TikTokers that I watch that have little sounds at the beginning of every one of their clips. It's like their signature sound, okay? And same thing, there's one girl, Mama Cookie. I mean, she's changed her name, but she's known as Mama Cookie on TikTok and Facebook, I think.
Okay.
And she does this little thing with her hand, and she goes, "That'll do it." She does it after, like, if she takes a sip of something, if she does, she's like, "That'll do it." But that's her thing, right? And so now a lot of people know that when they hear that phrase, it's related to her content and her video. So maybe that's why this particular type of sonic branding now is just going to get even more powerful, more popular, and probably something that every business should kind of look into if they're looking to add that extra oomph to their content creation.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that example, because that's more accessible, right? Than having a signature sound in all of your ads, or then creating a jingle or something like that. That's a little more accessible, and that's something that consistency, yes, is hard, but it's something that you can actively make sure you're doing.
Well, and I also, you tell me if this is an example of sonic branding, or if you would consider this something else. Do you ever watch any of the cute dog videos on like Facebook or TikTok or anything?
I'm sure I do. Yeah.
Okay. There are many accounts that now have, it's basically like the dog's Instagram account.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
And the dogs, they all have, how you could do voice over stuff, but you can change the voice tone in there. And so it's got like a very distinct voiceover element to it.
Okay.
They will do the life of the dog, but they do it in this different tone. So it sounds like if the dog had a voice, that would be his voice. Do you see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying. believe it would be an example of sonic branding. You just have to make sure that you are using something that's unique.
Yeah,
because
this
there
isn't
are
unique
because
this is just available in the app, the video editing app.
We'll see, and that's the thing.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So if you created your own audio, like your own specific voice that you always used in those videos, then I would say it is sonic branding.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Well, interesting. You guys think about that whenever you potentially are creating your videos. Is there a way for you to kind of use a sound element, some type of audio that makes it distinct and known just throughout your videos?
Yeah. My last example of audio marketing is going to be voice search / audio SEO.
Okay.
So that's optimizing your brand's content for voice activated search.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I say, and we're going to get into this in the next episode more, we're going to do a deeper dive on it, but not as difficult as you think it is.
That is the one that I probably know the least about.
Okay. Well, it's, again, this is next week's episode, but there's a lot of like tricks you can do, and it's a mindset that you need to get into to make sure that you're optimizing specifically for audio SEO.
This episode of the SOB Marketing Podcast is brought to you by the SOB community. If you're a small business owner that is neglecting your marketing and you feel like you've wasted money and time on marketing help that didn't deliver, or if you're just craving support from people who actually get what it's like to run and promote a small business, then our membership community is for you. Visit school.com/SOB to sign up today to get instant access and weekly support. That's SKOOL.com/SOB.
Let's go ahead and get into the meat and potatoes
of
this conversation.
You forgot the steak.
Well,
bring it. Bring the steak.
Okay, let's do the steak part of this episode then. We're going to talk about how it can help your small business.
All right.
Yes. So audio marketing, it allows you to connect with people when they are not looking at a screen, but they are still engaged. I think that's so important. Vivian, think about it. The average, and I looked this up, the average work commute in the United States, so I don't know about you, our fellow Canadian listeners, but here in the United States, your average work commute is 27 to 28 minutes long.
Yeah.
So we're spending, let's round it up to 30. We're spending an hour a day in the car.
Yeah, if you live in Charleston, South Carolina, way more than that, okay? But I mean, the truth is, I do like that you mentioned they're not necessarily looking at a screen, but they're still engaged. I think we're in this really strange place where when I clean, I play a podcast. Yeah. It's almost like if I feel like I'm doing any type of housework, or even if I'm doing some very repetitive work throughout the day, sometimes I'll put music on, or sometimes I'll put a podcast that doesn't, a fun one that doesn't make me think a lot. So it is true. Like, people are feeling like they need to be connected all the time. And this reminds me of a video I watched not too long ago. And it was actually, I thought it was spot on. It was this lady. She's like, because everyone's walking around with these earbuds. Yeah. And she's like, take the dang earbuds out of your ear. She's like, what? You're not even talking to anybody. Like, what are you doing? Just walking around listening to stuff all day?
Yes.
Yes, you guys, that's what they find opportunities. If you have, let's say you're in a place where you instead take public transportation, you're on a train. Most people wear earbuds and are listening to whatever, audiobook or music that they want to at the time. And so it really is a big part of people's daily lives.
I listen to something all day long.
Yeah.
All day long. I have either music or an audiobook or a podcast. Now, this is making it sound like I need to live with my thoughts a little more instead of just always listening to something.
I think we were talking about our shared existential dread that we have sometimes.
Yeah.
Maybe you need to live with that a little more. Okay.
No,
that makes you a better human.
Does it
Existential
though?
dread, yeah.
Does it though? People are primed to be affected by your audio marketing. Okay.
But more than that, right? These are really great. It's not just that, hey, because people are listening, these opportunities are very beneficial to a business.
Yes. So let's talk about how it's helpful. So, for one, creating an emotional connection, because you can convey a lot through audio. You have tone, a voice. So, like me, I always sound like I'm mad at someone.
Because she is.
Well, I mean, that's my tone of voice. Oh, you have the background music. Like, you can create a whole story with your audio. I know a lot of, I can't think of an example off the top of my head, but there's a lot of like horror podcasts where they're doing like horror stories once a week that they'll do advertising on other podcasts, and it's spooky vibe, the tone of voice, it's very suspenseful. That is something you can absolutely convey in audio marketing.
Yeah, and I would imagine too, it's kind of like when you're using your eyesight to read someone's emotion. I think you can tell a lot about someone's voice, like you're talking about. The thing is, you can tell when someone's getting choked up and emotional. You can tell when there are long dramatic pauses and stuff. The spookiness, all of that. There are so many the aggression. There's so much that you can convey. And so the other part of it too, though, is it's not just, there's something to be said where hearing you makes me feel like I'm in the room with you. For that thing, right? Like it's almost like you're immersed in the experience and not just that you're watching it on a screen.
Yeah, audio does a great job at exactly that, immersing you in the experience. It's also a very cost-effective marketing strategy, Vivian. I mean, you are in control of your budget. Like digital ads, you can control how much you want to spend in total or in a day. In most situations, now there are some opportunities that are going to be a little more stringent because they actually involve like an ad company or stuff like that.
Sure.
But for the most part, it's very cost effective. It depends on the platform you're using. It's going to be cheaper than video. So like if you're making like a traditional ad, like TV ad, it's going to be cheaper than that. And it's going to be about on par with digital.
The accessibility part is huge because it is so cost effective. I know, listen, we're business owners too. We understand that it might seem like, oh, once I get bigger, I can take advantage of that opportunity, or maybe I'll try some of that audio marketing. I would encourage you to go and play around with it now just to see what your budget would get you, right? What could you get for $1,000 a month? What could you get for $500 a month? Is that even? And then that way, when you do have it in your budget to be able to spend that money and you want to try it, you're way more confident because you know what the rates are, what they look like, and you've been thinking ahead of who would be a good match for you, which kind of leads into the next point you were going to make.
Well, actually, Vivian, there's one more thing I want to say about cost effectiveness when it comes to audio ads. It's not difficult or pricey to produce. Just make sure you have a good quality microphone if you want to perform. Not the word perform. What am I looking for? If you want to record it yourself, just make sure you have a good quality microphone. You can do AI voices.
Yes. Okay. So there's a tool, you guys. If you have not, I've actually done this for a project where I used to record some phone recordings for the phone system using my voice. I was like, there's probably something way more professional out there. The other option was to hire somebody, a professional voiceover person to do it.
Which is part of what I was going to say. You could hire a voice actor.
Yes. And that's a great, you can find plenty of them on Fiverr and these other websites. Super professional. Love that people are out there doing this for a living because they have some very good voices to pair with it. Yeah. There's also now 11 Labs, which is an AI tool that you go in there. These voice actors have done, they've provided enough of a script for this AI tool to then be able to generate their voice onto any script you provide automatically. So basically you go in there, you type what the script is, you go through and you select the types of voices, whether you want them to have accents, whether you want it to be male, female, whether you want them to sound friendly, more aggressive, this and that. You write it in there and it will give you like 3 options that you can listen to, and then you pick the best one you want. This tool it's really fun to play around with. It's a great option if you're looking to do something yourself without hiring a voiceover actor. But of course, we just want you to have plenty of options to get your project done.
Yeah. So Vivian, can I ask, do you know if that's paid?
It is paid.
It is paid.
Now, I will tell you, it was very cost effective.
Okay.
It was a nominal subscription fee per month, and then I think you could cancel anytime. The only thing to remember when you're doing anything like this through an AI tool that is subscription based, and this is also for music that you may use.
Okay.
There's a lot of times fine print that says you need to keep the subscription going if you're going to be using this for any type of like marketing purposes.
Okay.
And so you just want to read that fine print before you decide to move through. Now, if you pay a voice actor, they give you the rights to use it. You're covering that scope of work up front, so they know what it's for, what they're recording for.
Okay. Love that. Vivian, next I want to talk about, and this is probably another example of why I love audio marketing so much, the targeting and the reach. Okay, we started this episode by talking about how 90% of internet users stream music, right? Spotify has reported that they have 713 million monthly active users.
Wow.
And 246 million paid subscribers.
Okay.
And that's of 2025. So my point is, you got a lot of reach, okay? Yeah. You can reach potentially a large group of people. Now, do we want to reach everyone? No, we want to focus on our target audience, and that's how targeting is so helpful in this scenario. You can get very, very precise targeting in such a huge overall audience.
The one example I always like to bring up specifically for this is what you guys may not know about my baby sister Chelsea here is that she likes listening to a D&D podcast.
I do.
Dungeons and Dragons.
I listened to a couple actually.
For me, that sounds very odd. All right. I'm like, what does that even, like, what do you get out of it? Like, isn't D&D a game? How can you listen to people talk about a game?
Because it's a story.
Yeah. Okay. So the thing is, though, that's a subsegment of people that want a very specific thing.
Yeah.
If you were somebody who created, let's say you sold, what do you call it? Like maybe dice holders?
Yes.
Die holders for, is it die? Plural for dice?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, let's say yes. Die holders. Go ahead. It's actually the opposite. Die is the singular form and dice is plural.
If you were creating that type of product in, let's say, like a 3D, what do you call it?
Printer.
Yeah. That would be the group of people I'm like, hey, you know what? They would want this thing very specific. So I would look to target those types of podcasts. But I do like, to your point.
Real quick. There's die holders. We have, what is it called? Where you can put your die at the top and it'll roll down and it like rolls the dice for you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And they're real pretty. Like you can get like a dragon or like a like a waterfall. Yeah, this is a thing. This is very much a thing that I know a lot about and Vivian knows nothing about.
No, absolutely. I mean, that's the point is you can actually get very granular, not just with the type of podcast or the industry, Chelsea, I think you said that they actually allow you to target, what'd you say, by genre?
Yeah.
Mood.
Platforms like Spotify allow you to target by genre, mood, activity, demographic.
Yes.
I mean, you can get really, really granular with your target audience. And before we move on, I just want to bring up again podcasts. I would reach out to the podcast first to see what opportunities they have for sponsorships or a paid ad. Another example of audio marketing being helpful for small business owners is it's great for an omni-channel marketing strategy.
All right. Remind us what that is again.
So omni-channel marketing means that you are reaching your target audience in every place that they could possibly be. We do have an episode on this, so if you haven't listened to that, go listen to that. But that is the crux of the entire thing. You want to make sure that you are reaching your target audience anywhere they could possibly be, so then you can stay in their mind's eye, you can stay relevant, and hopefully that will help you convert a sale. Because remember, we say this all the time, but marketing, it takes 7 to 8 touch points before someone's willing to make a purchase.
I also like the idea with the brand recall and recognition that it's almost like you're using all the senses, okay?
Yeah.
If someone sees your brand, your business on video, then they hear it on audio, then you
get an email.
Yes, then you get an email. Then you have some type of maybe like real life experience with the business. I love that it's kind of hitting all of those, those sensory
touch points, all the senses. It's also really great. It has really great analytics. Marketing is about tracking to see if something is successful. This is a little easier to do with audio marketing than like a team sponsorship or something, right? Like this is very tangible. You should be able to get you should be able to get information about your impressions, your reach, a conversion rate, all of that. Just like in digital ads.
Like total plays that's gotten, or if someone skipped through the ad.
Yeah, you should be able to get all that information, and that's really important for marketing.
Yeah, and the one thing we'll remind you of here too is that there are also ways that you can ensure that you're getting adequate data to be able to see if the ad is working. So if you decide to do audio marketing, one of the things you could potentially do is use a very specific code at checkout that then ties them that you guys are only using on your audio marketing ads, or maybe just your Spotify ads, or maybe just your streaming ads. And so that way you know exactly where it's coming from. You'll hear a lot of people do this. If they do a sponsorship with a podcast, you'll hear the podcast host say, hey, I know specifically one of the podcasts I listen to, they do this for Skims. They're like, hey, we're sponsored by Skims. If you guys go and buy anything at checkout, be sure that you select our podcast as a referring source. And so then they get the credit. They know, oh, hey, the dollars that we're spending on this particular podcast are working because we have a high conversion rate, right?
Yeah. That's a great example. Thank you for bringing that. So, okay, Vivian, that was this part of our conversation about audio marketing. Again, this would be like over an hour long of an episode if we got into audio marketing options right now. So we made the decision to split it into 2. So make sure that you are subscribed or following so that you can get the notification for next week's episode. But today, I can do a brief TLDL.
Let's do it.
Too long didn't listen. Here's a brief summary of what we talked about today. We are talking about audio marketing, and we answered the questions, what is audio marketing? We gave some examples of audio marketing, and then we talked about how it can be helpful and effective for small business owners. Yeah. Is there anything you want to add?
No, just to remind you guys to leave us a review. That helps us get in front of other small business owners. And as you guys know, we got to stick together, okay? Because no one's coming to save us SOBs except for ourselves. So,
facts.
Yes, facts. So leave us a review so that our podcast can grow and we can bring other small business owners into our community.
We will see you guys next week. Don't miss the rest of this conversation, okay? And go be the best SOB you can be. Oh my god, is that a wasp? This is gonna be like that movie. I'm gonna get stung and I'm gonna die. I don't think I'm allergic, but who knows?
Are you talking about My Girl?
Yes.